続いては鹿児島県出身の19歳マックス海人さんです。マックスの空白の8年間に迫ります。さあ、マックスが思う IBS とは。人生の分岐点。それではマックス、よろしくお願いいたします。
皆さんこんにちは。
こんにちは。
鹿児島県鹿児島市出身マックスこと正海人です。今回お話しするのは僕の黒歴史である8年間の引きこもりについてです。今ここに立っているのも長く支えてくれた母、父、2人の兄、祖父母、あと飼っている猫2匹のおかげです。今回は皆さんに少しでも引きこもりについて知ってもらうきっかけや考えるきっかけになればなと思っています。それではよろしくお願いします。Until last year, I was a hikikomori. It all started with small trigger. When I was in elementary school, I had issue with teacher, which made me dislike school and start skipping classes. Back then, I was somewhat serious, but unable to express my own opinions. I couldn't communicate my thought or dissatisfaction to the teacher. And as a result, I bottled up all my emotions. At first, I intended to return to school quickly. However, because of my serious nature, I started to feel guilty about skipping, which made it even harder for me to go back. At the time, I believed that being normal was the right way to be, because that I became afraid showing being different from those around me to others. And eventually, I developed a few people's judgment altogether. As a result, I was unable to attend middle school and chose correspondence high school instead. In the end, I spent about 8 years as a hikikomori. Now, I'd like to reflect on my experience and think about why people become hikikomori and how to break free from it. What is a hikikomori? The definition of hikikomori refers to a state in which a person stays at home for more than 6 months, avoiding work, school, and social interaction except for family members. When I researched the common characteristics who tend to become hikikomori, I found following tendencies: fierce and hardworking, low self-esteem and self-efficacy, introverted and unable to express emotion, concerned about others' opinions, poor at verbalizing dissatisfaction, and prone to bottling up emotion. Looking at these traits, it seems that people who struggle with communication and those who can't express their true feelings are more likely to become hikikomori. I was exactly like that. If you keep bottling up your worry for too long, you might end up spending 8 years in isolation, just like I did. My life as hikikomori was very monotonous. Here's what my daily routine looked like. Wake up 11 a.m., eat lunch 12 p.m. Watch YouTube, read manga, and zone out. Eat dinner at 7 p.m. Continue zoning out while doing random things. Sleep around 2 a.m. Time just passed without meaning. The night, when I suddenly burst into tears after turning off the light in bed. I kept asking myself, what should I do? I felt so guilty toward my family, and sometimes even thought I want to die. Let me introduce how to stop being hikikomori. The reason I was able to escape a hikikomori life was timing. When I was about to graduate high school, I had sudden realization. If I don't do something now, I stay like this forever. I started considering going to university or vocational school, and that's when I found out about IBS. At first, I wasn't planning to go, but then I realized what I needed most was college. The ability to live without worrying about others' opinions. I felt public speaking and studying Australia would help me grow, so I said enroll. I started feeling more positive because I made a friend at the institute and had more enjoyable experience. When I was stuck at home, I wasn't doing anything and was constantly thinking negative thoughts. But as my life became full of things and my mindset gradually changed, I started thinking about more positive things. When I researched other hikikomori case, I found the most common trigger for change were a major life change, such as school enrollment, employment, or moving, a sense of urgency due to age, financial problems. This suggests people who struggle to change by themselves often need external factors like passage of time or financial issues push them forward. If you or someone close to you is dealing with hikikomori, I believe it's important to create opportunities for environmental change, take small, manageable steps forward. Why am I talking about this? To be honest, this is a painful part of my past, and I consider it a dark chapter in my life. However, I've decided to share my story because I've realized that talking about trauma is important for overcoming it. Taking the first step is always a scary spot, but once you overcome the fear, use a different world and will build your confidence. If you're struggling with something similar, take things one step at a time. Even the smallest step can make a difference. 自分の殻を破るのは簡単ではありませんでした。でもこの1年いろんな人と関わってこれまで抱えてきた悩みがちっぽけだなって思うこともあるし、意味のないものだったのかなと考えることもあります。一歩踏み出したら何か変わるかもしれないし、もしかしたら何も変わらないかもしれません。ですがその一歩にはきっと意味があるんだと思います。Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。弁当説明よろしくお願いします。
Sorry, I was waiting. So first I wanted to say thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure it was very hard for you to share that. As a former, I guess I fit loosely in the definition of a hikikomori a few years ago myself. I know what it's like to struggle with it. And I'm glad that you wanted to talk about it and how you got out of being a hikikomori, because the first step really is the hardest, because when you think about wanting to get out of that lifestyle, you always constantly kind of make excuses as to not do anything. Well, at least that's what I did. Did that happen to you too? Yeah, like whenever you chose to try to, like, oh, I don't want to be hikikomori anymore, and I want to do something with my life, you always go, oh, maybe tomorrow, you know? And so, like, when you're telling the story, it brings up the feelings that I had as well. And I'm glad that you brought up that timing is key, because sometimes the timing doesn't line up, and so you constantly make those excuses, and you don't want to change because change is hard. And like, I don't know what happened to you, but like I had a dream one night, and in my dream I yelled at myself for not doing anything to change my life. And I woke up like, what was that all about? And ever since then I made the decision to try to make sure that I never fall into those patterns again. Do you sometimes fall back and kind of go back into those same habits? Yeah, it's hard to break it when you do it for years. But I'm glad you're up here now, and that you said you wanted to be a public speaker. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you're able to face your fears and to have that courage, because courage to be able to break out and be the best version of yourself. I really think I really admire that. So thank you for sharing your story. Thank you.
自分の人生と重なってしまってね、彼も全くそうだったんだそうですね。それを君が言葉にして今発信してくれて、そういう感動してますよね。やっぱりよく我々はこの子をどうにかして元気にしなきゃ、この子がダメだからとかよく言うんですけど、本当はその子が悪いんじゃなくて、社会が、教育が、いろんな場所が悪いことがいっぱいあるということに気がつかないですね、周りの人たちは。自分が悪いのに相手が全部ダメだダメだって言ってですね、多分君はそういうことに目覚めたんだと思いますね。やっぱりパッと何かの瞬間に彼らは夢を見て、もうすごい声で叫んで、俺はこのままじゃダメなんだって叫んで、そしてもう我に返って普通の世界に入ったそうですけれども、やっぱり本当は変えなきゃいけない社会がいっぱいあるんだと思うんです。こういう研究してる人が今日来てるんですね。来られてるんです、一人、小宮山さんっていう人がね。ちょっと小宮山さんの意見も聞いてみたいと思いますけれども、いらっしゃいます？小宮山さん。
予想してなかったので、本当にびっくりしました。はい、簡単にちょっと私もご説明させていただくと、私はひきこもりと言われる方たちとですね、365日生活をずっと共にしながら、社会に出るお手伝いをずっとさせていただいてました。で、今、本当におっしゃった通り、本当に真面目で、目の優しい子たちが、どうしても社会からの冷たい言葉であったりとかですね、そういう環境に馴染めない子たちというのが引きこもってしまうっていう傾向が本当に強いなと。ただ、すごくいろいろ調べて今発表してくれてたんですけども、私もよくお母さんからなんで子供は引きこもるんでしょうって聞かれることがたくさんあります。その時に僕はこんな立派な、説明ができず、引きこもる場所を与えるからですよっていうふうに言ってしまうんですね。はい、僕は家がとても貧乏で、4畳半一間で家族4人で住んでたので、引きこもるどころか早く家から出なかったんですよ。なので、部屋なくしたら引きこもらないんちゃいますっていうようなことはよく言ってました。だけど、本当に今ね、伝えていただいた言葉の中で、僕はいつも子どもたちに伝えているのは、自分の経験っていうのは、何もね、辛い経験でもトラウマにする必要も全くない。同じような経験をしている次の世代の子どもたちのために、君は変わってその経験をしてくれたんだよ。その経験を次の世代の子たちに伝えてあげるために、やっぱり今ね、動き出したんだよっていうような話をよくさせてもらいます。だからこそ、その言葉をね、自分のトラウマにせず、これからね、どんどんたくさんの人に伝えてあげてほしいなというふうに思いました。ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。これから使命がね、責任が重いですね。新しくいろんな人たちをこれから救ってあげてください。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。